One for the Angels was the first and one of the handful of episodes that featured death as a main theme. While it does have its dark moments, One for the Angels' approach on the subject is a lighthearted one, so it has a little more character and tone than the other death episodes. Ed Wynn is Lou Bookman. He's a sidewalk salesman and a sort of Santa-like figure to the neighborhood children. He comes across a mysterious stranger who says the weirdest thing: "Your time is up and you're coming with me." It turns out that the guy in the suit is Mr. Death. Knowing that his life is on the line, Bookman tries to outsmart Mr. Death by working around the rules and options that are given to him and hoping this will get Death out of his hair. But Mr. Death just can't leave empty-handed, so he exchanges Bookman's life for one of the neighborhood kids. Now knowing the mistake he's made, he asks Death to take him, but Mr. Death is growing impatient and needs to take somebody. Can Lou save the little girl in the end, or will Death get to her first? I think the first thing to comment on this episode is the writing. I would imagine the way Lou Bookman interacts with Mr. Death would be the same way someone would act in real life if they were in the same position, though that might not be everyone's reaction. What could you say if you were interacting with Death face to face? One for the Angels is an engaging piece on how one person can see themselves as an achiever and understand the value that service brings to them and the people around them. As Lou Bookman, Ed Wynn always finds the right kind of motivation for every scene he's in. When he's facing Death for the first time, he plays it cool and doesn't let Mr. Death get the best of him, while at the same time he's coming up with every sly trick he can think of to fool Death. Classic stuff. Whenever Ed Wynn is casual Lou Bookman, he brings a touch of grace and humbleness to his everyday character, and you can sympathize with all the stuff he goes through at the beginning of the episode. When he's the sidewalk pitchman, he grabs your attention and never lets go. He makes any item sound like it's the most amazing thing ever made, and you can't help but stare in wonder of his salesmanship. At one point, he tells Death that his life can come full circle if he can deliver a pitch so great it would go beyond just being another sale. In the end, he delivers his grand pitch to Mr. Death, and in the process, he saves the little girl's life, gets some respect from Mr. Death for putting on such a good distraction, and solidifies his status as a one-of-a-kind pitchman. And all of this is done in one pitch. Now that's an accomplishment. Playing Mr. Death is Murray Hamilton. He's probably one of the coolest depictions of the character Death, because every time he enters a scene, a dark shadow fills the screen, then fades away, and it's accompanied by a creepy rumbling soundtrack. You might think that since this is Death, he would treat people in an evil manner. Actually, he's anything but evil. He's just like an everyday Joe who's just trying to do his job, and unlike other versions of Death, he's a natural force with a personality, and that allows for some fun banter between the two leads. And this brings a sense of humor, suspense, and sentimentality to an otherwise dark episode. One for the Angels is one of the best episodes of the first season, and also one of the most charming stories ever told in the Twilight Zone.